Hello. Oof. Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. I gotta reach now. I gotta reach. So, on the second day of Twitty Miss. Well, Twitty sent it yesterday, but I had a dream last night. I had a dream last night that the results of some tests that come in. Oh, I didn't think about it at the time. So I had a dream last night that the results of some tests that come in, um, and my big boss, I call him my big boss because it's my boss's boss. I was looking at him myself, and it was something like, "Oh, okay, duh." The dream made more sense than I knew it meant. But I'm going to be opening the Starman tarot. Thank you, Twitty. um, so it was like, so I told you I'm a microbiologist, right? And so if something grows, we have to try to identify it and figure it out, like what it is, where it's coming from, blah, 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 whatever, right? I work in quality control. And so in the dream test results came back, and I was looking at them and they were like, but instead of it being like a DNA, well, maybe it was DNA, I don't know. It's like an identifier, right? To identify whatever the thing is. And they were like, well, the only other person in the database who matched this level of whatever, it was worded like capacity. But if you've ever seen, since I was using the mystical manga tarot before I went to sleep, it's like mana or some, it's where's Mercury? I feel like I can't talk lately. I don't have any water. It's like the store of magic within you, basically, like your pool of personal power to perform whatever. I'm watching a show called World Trigger right now, and they call it Trion. They're like, there's this invisible organ in the body that produces Trion, which is an energy. Um, and the place in the anime is like the last place to discover the organ, and they only discover the organ because they get invaded, and they're like trying to collect people who can use it and people who have a high capacity for it. Capacity, I said spiritual capacity, some kind of energetic capacity. There we go. And they were like the only other person that had an energetic capacity of this magnitude was like the old archbishop or whatever. I don't know. And then my big boss came in and she was like, "Oh, did you get your results?" And I was like, "Yeah, but," and she's like, "Oh, well, like, let's look at them." And she verifies that everything has been done properly, that the paperwork is up to par, and then we file it. So that's why I was like, oh, I didn't even realize like she was the one that verifies the results. But I was looking at it, like when I had the actual paper, and a lot of the stuff said it was like inconclusive or something like that, which is interesting in its own right. Um, but that's enough about that. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was trying to go back to sleep. Blooming Rose, how you doing? I couldn't stop thinking about it. How do I get this out? Compton. Compton Street, London. What? Oh, David Bowie. Okay. That's not even David Bowie. I think that's Queen. Brain, what are you doing? Excuse me. I'm glad to hear it. Let's see what this deck is up to. I'm gonna ask the same questions I asked yesterday. I actually have a spread in the Threads of Fate where they're like, get to know your deck. But I'm just gonna do the same 3 cards. I think yesterday the Mystical Manga Tarot, it's this energy of like, and I had it in my brain before, and now it's just like completely gone. I wish I could like be more central, but it's fine. That's better. There's an energy of like, maybe it's like it's trying to put us in the best possible position we can be in to make a favorable outcome possible. But it's like the space of the things that we need to do in order to be in that, in order to like cement that reality as our, or to cement that potentiality as our reality. That's why it was like the King of Swords, the Ten of Cups, and the Seven of Wands, with the Three of Pentacles at the bottom twice, between the Ten of Cups and the Seven of Wands. I want to know, what are you waiting for? Princess of Cups, the airy part of water. Thank you, girl. Even though the fiery part of water is the prince, the watery part of water is the queen. So the kings are earth here. Are kings always earth energy for anybody who follows that? Because I thought pages were earth energy, kings were air energy, knights were fire, and queens were water. But I've never been like, that's all honestly mostly water baby. Is it water baby? Is she the one that's like, this is earth and water? I think it's also on the Tarot Apocalypse book, though. Ooh, Lo Scarabeo. For news and information, follow Lo Scarabeo Tarot on Instagram. No thanks. Look at this energy, though. So this deck is going to have 2 title cards, too. I'm going to leave both of these on the deck. But look at that. Like, no, that's a take on strength. She like, oh, you thought because I was naked and of, ooh, look how muscular she is, though. I remember I was talking to one of my friends. She was when she was running the pageant circuit. I was like, women kind of scare me low key, because with men, I feel like you see everything up front, but with women, like you don't see any of it, but it's all still there. Um, I was kind of being funny because I think maybe, because it was 3 of us, and I think maybe the other person was talking about like bodybuilders or something, and I was like, women still have muscles, like they still have whatever, like they still have all of the stuff. It's just like their frames accommodate it differently, so it's not as showy, unless they're bodybuilding like anybody else bodybuilds, then it does show. Oh, girl, this is such an interesting box design. Yeah. I was like, "Ooh." And then yesterday, because I've been seeing Jaguar a lot, or feeling Jaguar a lot. Oh my gosh. I don't think I realized how. busy these cards. Oh, look at the Ten of Cups with its fractaled energy. Okay. Excuse me. It's almost like an Aries Mars. Mars. It's almost like an Aries Scorpio energy, where Scorpio is still Mars ruled. Scorpio is a water sign, but it's like a Mars ruled water sign. You know, we have a moon rule. These are huge. Like I can barely get my in there to shuffle it. That did not work. Okay. Um, it's like Scorpio is still Mars, but it's not Mars in an Aries way, where it's like it leads with its Martianness. Mm-hmm. You have Mars in Aries. I have Mars in Cancer. Mars in Aries. I would say Mars in Aries is scary, but I feel like Mars. Excuse me. I feel like Mars in Aries is really straightforward, though. It may be like potentially short tempered, but it's straightforward. And that's what I feel like I would like about somebody with the Mars in Aries. It's like you know what they're upset about, almost. Or it's like that energy. These are going to be so hard to shuffle. Oh my gosh. There we go. So the first cards that this deck wants to show me, they're actually the backs of the cards because I'm shuffling it front up. Nine of Wands at the top of the deck, technically, because that's how I was shuffling it. Girl, what? These cards are a lot. It's the Five and the Six of Pentacles. And this is interesting. It's interesting because the Five of Pentacles came out yesterday with the Nine of Wands. The Five. Okay. So this deck is going to play well with the Mystical Manga Tarot because the Five of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands was behind the Emperor and the Empress. It was in front of the lovers. I never said that because it was a whole, it was like the Nine of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, the lovers, some hurt, some betrayal, the Four of Wands. I'm like, girl, this is a whole journey. And I'm not about to go on it right now. But this energy was at the bottom. It's the same energy though. It's the same energy, but this doesn't tell you of the status. This isn't like you're a page of wands that's going to become an emperor because you're going to come in contact with some high priestian empress frequency who's going to give you your empire. The power is yours, the power's within you, but the rulership, the position, the responsibility she bestows. And I say that because this, it's a Five of Pentacles card, but that feels like a doorway right there. And it's a door, but it feels like you only see it as a doorway because of the reflection in the water. And it was the Nine of Wands that was above the water. And so this deck is saying that we have to get back in it, but not be consumed by it. And what's on the other side of that is this gorgeous Six of Pentacles energy. It's almost a Malkuta de Shemaya kingdom of light energy on the other side of this portal. So the first thing this deck wants to do is confirm the other, I guess. See, but that's interesting. Yeah, because see, on this side, there's like this more aggressive torque of energy with this shadow, but in the Six of Pentacles, the shadow was just like fallen from power. The power is returned to the self. But anyway, so thank you for that. And maybe that is what the Empress sees. It sees us stand in our power. It sees us in some way, shape, or form conquer our shadow. And the shadow could be fear, the shadow could be anger, the shadow could be like low self-esteem, the shadow could be like you not going after what is yours in whatever way. However way the shadow manifests. It is. Doorways in your dreams are always constant. Like constant lately or like constant for like a minute now. Because that's interesting. These are so hard to shuffle. These are so hard to shuffle. I try to shuffle them this way. Oh, I said these are so hard to shuffle. And then that was like, oh, it was decent. They present themselves in your dreams. Oh, what's that? Okay, that's hilarious. I felt something on the card and I go, ooh, what's that? And like it's upside down. And then I turn it right side up and it's gone. The Ace of Swords. Since childhood. Oh wow. So is it something that presents itself like whenever you're about to, I guess I should just ask. Let me not even like give you a loaded question. When a doorway presents itself in a dream, does it usually like correspond to something that you're either doing, feeling, or something that's about to happen? Because I know what a doorway could mean, but I feel like it would be more beneficial to ask. Oh my gosh, look what card literally just came back out. It's the Six of Pentacles again. But this time it has the moon at the bottom of the deck. It's a direct symbolism of choice. Oh, that's interesting. See, because I would have thought that a doorway would present itself when, um, like whenever you're about to start something new. Like, oh, tomorrow's my first day of middle school. I had a dream about a doorway. Oh, tomorrow's graduation. I had a dream about a doorway. Oh, tomorrow's the day that this major event is happening. I had a dream about a doorway. Or I had a dream about a doorway and then I was offered an opportunity. But it's a direct symbolism of choice. Beyond, it is always an answer, but usually a look into my current situation. Gotcha. See, I'm glad I didn't ask that loaded question. Not loaded question, but it's like sometimes the way we ask a question implies an answer that we want to receive. And I didn't want to receive what I thought it was. I wanted to receive what it is for you. So thank you. Because now, if I feel like my memory is decent, I'll be like, Bloomin' Rose said that doorways mean this to her, and I'm feeling that energy here. Shout out to Bloomin' Rose, girl. I can see myself doing that. It's an answer, but a look into your current situation. I love that. Spirit is always behind the door. All right, one random card before I ask. I guess you've already showed me something, but one random card, please, before you tell me about yourself, or I ask you to tell me about yourself. Just like magic, watch and see. Magical adoring me like magic. Mm-hmm. Just like magic. That's me. Now don't nothing want to come out. Hello? You are such a chatty Cathy. I obviously still need to shuffle this deck. So the Princess of Swords and the Prince of Swords came out. The bottom of the deck is the Princess of Pentacles. And then here's the bottom of the deck with the Prince of Pentacles behind her. And the Hierophant is behind the Prince and Princess of Pentacles. So first comes the Princess, then comes the Prince. Now, outside of this deck in particular, it would be a shift from the Page to the Knight. And this is in the logical mind. Earth is like a practicality. Earth is like a practicality application. Air is like a feasibility and election energy. But air precedes the earth here. And because air precedes the earth, I don't know if this is necessarily the space of something that will just sort of spontaneously. I don't know if this is a space of something that will happen without thought and plan. Again, it reminds me of that King of Swords energy that came out in the Mystic Manga Tarot. That was like, um, basically, it was like put yourself in the best possible position for things to just naturally unfurl. See, and maybe that's the thing with the King of Swords and the Eight of Wands. It's almost like the King of Swords will sit back and view how something is going. And then with the Three of Pentacles energy between the Ten of Cups and the Seven of Wands, it's like it'll find the natural course of events and then it will place itself so that the forces already at play do all the work for it, right? It's like if you're trying to get from point A to point B and you're using a boat, observe the winds. And then you can follow trade winds, even if we're underwater, right? Finding Nemo, you can, the current. What was the, I don't remember. There's an airplane. Can you hear it? It's like if you get in the current, then the current is going to do all the work to take you where you need to go. But it's fast. So you also need to know like when you need to get off, and you have to be prepared to get off when it's time for you to get off because it's so fast. If you don't get off at your stop, you're probably going to be just as far as you were when you tried to get on to the like when you got on it in the first place. It's like trolleys back in the day, question mark, where they didn't really stop for people. You just had to like jump on and then jump off when your stop came. Clang, clang, clang with the trolley. Ding, ding, ding with the bell. Zing, zing, zing with my heartstrings from the moment I saw my bell. I was on that song last year. It was like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Um, the part of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang where they're like performing for the king and the queen of whatever. Like that one and the trolley song from what is it? Meet me at St. Louis. I don't even remember the name of it. Eve. There you go. Oh snap! We have Aquarius Queen in the house. Bloomin' Rose bringing back the air energy. Wait, did you hear the airplane? Could you hear the airplane? Do you hear the people sing? I just opened the book to the Six of Wands. And this is interesting because we've seen the Six of Pentacles twice now. And the Six of Wands look like it has an energy where it's like you make it, but not a lot of other people do. But the Six of Pentacles energy was like, it felt like there were more people in it. And the only thing at fall was the shadow. Oh, Blooming Rose. You do me such kindness with your words, Blooming Rose. I love you. Oh, girl. Oh. Okay. So I look at this. I didn't see it until in the book. If you are blood averse, consider averting your eyes. So like his hand is bloody. He got like he all scratched up. And like look at him. I'm like, oh my gosh. And remember how I was talking about, see, when I use this camera to stream live on YouTube instead of like OBS or some other third party software, I feel like it doesn't refocus sometimes, but it did. So that's great. Um, it was like, and I was like, this is like a strength energy. And she was like, oh, you think I'm frail? You think because I'm woman, you can take me? Watch me prevent your attack. And this dude got toe up. He didn't make it. I mean, he made it, but he has the scars to show it too. And then the Princess of Swords. It's funny because she's crouched down in a similar way, but what's even more interesting is that for the first time, instead of a shadow, dark body, we see a light body in the Princess of Swords. And maybe that's why, well, there are two light bodies in the Prince of Swords and people. Oh my gosh. What this is. Because there are light bodies here too. There's like a stick of dynamite down there. He's putting his sword down. Oh, okay. So just like the in between tarot, the keyword here is disarm. He's disarmed himself. He's gonna disarm the dynamite TNT. It's an energy of disarming. And maybe it's because when he's armed, he finds he has to fight. It's like if you, because this is air, right? This is our perception. This is the conception, observation, literally perception and observation from Blooming Rose. I believe in giving credit where credit is due. And it's almost like if you have the perception, if you have the framework of, I have to fight in order to prevent off this or in order to prevent that, then you're going to find those fights and those battles. And it's like, as long as your sword is raised, you'll have need to use it. And so there's an energy of disarming here. And the disarm comes after this Princess of Swords energy. Now, the Princess of Swords energy, it draws parallels to the moon that was at the bottom of the deck the second time the Six of Pentacles was came out. When the Six of Pentacles came out again, the moon was here. And I did say that that Six of Pentacles held a little bit of a Malkata Maya energy, the kingdom of light. And there's like, there's so much going on here. I don't know if this city is being created or if it's like on this side, it's like it may be being created. On this side, it might be falling apart. And then there's this rift in this space that is, and I guess there was an energy that came out recently. I think it was the video before this one. And it was an energy of the Mother of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Hanged Man. I think it's when that came out at the end of the video. And it was that energy of like, it feels like the earth is drying up. And it's like, from our perception, it would look like the earth is dying because everything is drying up. Everything is like, it's like the life force is being sucked out of earth. But it was like, in reality, it's moving from one reality to another one. So like everything is moving from here, from this side to this side. And that's why this side, it's like this side becomes more and more complete while this side fades more and more. But if we're on this side, oh, maybe that's like some kind of rapture like energy. And what was that? The energy of the Mother of Cups or Queen of Cups came out yesterday. And I was like, or was it the day before? No, it was the day before yesterday when I referenced it and mentioned it. No, was it? I feel like it came out at some point. And I was like, the Queen of Cups gives and gives even to the detriment of the person. But the Queen of Pentacles like encourages, like the Queen of Pentacles knows that there's going to be a time and a place and a day where you have to do for yourself. And so in order to prepare you for that time, it will feel like she withdraws in the moment. But she withdraws so you can stand when you need to stand and so you can fly when you need to fly. So you can flee when it's time to walk away and so you can fight when it's time to make a stand, right? But above that, everything is complete. Like everything is complete above this rift. And then down here, it's like polarity and duality and experience. Oh, and maybe that's the disarming energy. But I don't know. I don't know what choice this Prince of Swords is going to make. Because it feels like behind the Prince of Swords is this energy. Which one? Is this energy where it's complete? like with the city of light, the people of light behind him. And in front of him is this world of ruin that maybe he tries to disarm. So maybe the Prince of Swords is also the knight. Maybe the Prince of Swords is the knight that the vizier sends. Like the Prince of Swords comes from this place to try to disarm this. But when he's trying to survive in this place, girl, does he get beat up? He's like, I didn't understand that they were still so primitive. Oh my gosh, they're mean. His little feelings be hurt. His everything hurts. The shadow self can't fight the light. Also, only a sword can disarm a sword. The sword of truth breaks the sword of shadow. Oh, snap. What? Even Bloom and Rose been connected before they even knew they were connected. Or maybe y'all knew y'all were connected. I don't know. Mm. Oh, girl. Well, I'm glad I don't have more air in my chart then. Let me live in Piscean fantasy. Ew, ew, oh, ew, ew. Is this some kind of light versus the dark type mess? Because low key, like even though the Prince of Swords is a little gruesome, like they're both backed by these like light energies that distort and break apart what is in the space of being let go. They're cutting it out. It's being edited out. It's like, yeah, no, see, that time is over and we're trying to do something different. So if you want to do that, you can do that in a dying world. Because again, with the energy of that disarming, like if you carry the sword, you're going to have to use it. It's like if that's with the energy of like if that's your preconception, if that's your perception, that becomes your reality because it's the way you interact with the world. It's the way you see the world. It doesn't even necessarily have to be the way the world is. It's like when that character, and I can think of a specific movie, but it's like when a character in a movie is like, everybody hated me, my life was miserable. But in real life, everyone's like, oh my gosh, hi, how are you doing? Like, do you want to come do this? And it's like, no one wanted to be my friend. But meanwhile, in real life, like everyone is inviting them, everyone is trying to make that person feel welcome. And so it's their own narrative that creates their experience. It's not their reality. Well, it is their reality, but it's not the truth of the circumstance because the truth of the situation is everyone wanted to be your friend. But you were so like, I don't have any friends. No one likes me. Everyone hates me. That you couldn't even see the truth that was like literally in front of your eyes. But then this energy down here, it just, I don't know if it's in the coloring or what, it just feels darker. But I don't know if it's necessarily dark. I don't know if it necessarily has to be dark in an evil way. And I say that because I don't know if like the dark side is being cleaned up, where it's like this is out of line. We don't violate someone's right to have the experience that they wish to have. We don't violate someone else's free will and choice. And so for you to transgress against someone who had no stake in this karmic game is for that to fall doubly back on you. And anything that they do as a result of you falls triply back on you. It does, though. I mean, they probably still have to pay their own whatever, but it falls back even more on the person. And that's the thing we kind of sort of do sometimes. It's like, or that's the thing that people we do sometimes. It's like when we want to hurt people, we don't hurt people who are already hurt, or we don't have the thought to go and hurt people who are already hurt to keep playing, like to keep the same players in the game. It's like, let me go hurt somebody who's like innocent. Let me go take advantage of someone who doesn't know any better. But then if you mess around and get the wrong one, that's when you get that the title card of the strength. Like, oh, you thought because I was light, you thought because I'm like doing well that I was weak. Oh, girl, like, okay. But anyway, Tweety, oh my gosh, Tweety, thank you so much. This is the Starman Tarot. It was a gift from Twitty. Thank you, Kathy. I got this package. I was like, girl, your generosity blows me away. Thank you. I think I'm going to love that mystical manga deck. It'd be interesting. Yeah, and I think I don't it's almost like the motivations of the darkness are not even necessarily darkness. The motivations of shadow are so apparent that I feel like air energy could understand it without having to be it. Air energy is like you were hurt, so you're going around and you're hurting other people in any way that you can. Okay, got it. Or air energy is like you don't care about who you negatively impact because you're extremely greedy. Okay, got it. So as long as you're doing well, as long as you're making like forward moves, as long as you're accumulating, then you don't care like who you have to cross. So it's not personal. And it reminds me of when Rob was like, it feels like it's not business. When Rob was like, it's business, it's not personal. I feel like light or I feel like sword energy would have that understanding of shadow because there's no substance to shadow. It's not complicated. You're hurt, so you're hurting other people. You're selfish or you're greedy. It's like you're greedy, so you're selfish and you don't care. Like you want to be like you want this so badly that you're blind to everything else. Okay. Like it's not rocket science type of energy. And I guess air energy is just positioned because again it is. It's almost like because it has that capability. And it reminds me of my Libran friend a little bit, or it makes me think of him. Um, it's like because you have that capability, that's the role that you sort of find yourself in. Because it's like water energy would be too much in the feeling. Like the fantasy, fire energy would be too much in the it's like a feeling like water feeling is like a emotional feeling. Fire feeling is like that Knight of Wands pleasure. Fire energy would be too much in the pleasure or the sport. Earth energy is just like this is how the way like this is the way the world works. If you want this, you got to do that. And air energy is like hold up, wait a second. Air energy is the Gemini. That's like, but why though? But why though? But why? But why? And it's the Aquarius that's like, no, no, no. And it's the Libra that's like, okay, like I see what you're trying to do, but what if we did it this way? And like the what if we did it this way? Earth would be like, but that's not how things work. Water would be either a sobbing mess or on cloud 15,000. And fire energy would be so in it that they don't even hear you. And air's like, okay, well, I guess I'm the babysitter of the elements right now. That's why this dude is like, this dude might be like, last time I was down there, it was rough. I don't know if I want to go back. And then these energies, I feel like these are just, I don't even think these are dark. These are just denser. These are just energies on Earth. And they're like, yeah, but it's needed. So things are out of control. It's like when people can't control their kids and they just sort of like give up. It's like I can't do anything when they get this way. So they'll get tired eventually. And it's like, okay, girl, well, can you take them to the park so they can run around and get the energy out or something? Like, do you have to be in the theater right now while we're trying to enjoy the movie? Like, I know you're also trying to see the movie or they wanted to see the movie, but it's like ruining everyone else's experience. So, anyway, anyway. Oh, Twitty, that's so sweet. I would never hold it against you. I mean, why would I? How could I? You went through that with your ex, and he's air as well. Ooh. You're a sobbing mess, but in a beautiful way. Probably, Twitty. Hopefully. And it's interesting that we have to, not have to, but maybe that's just the difference. In air epoch, in an air energy, it's easier to see what doesn't have substance. In earth epoch, everything seemed like it had substance. It's like it's reality, like we're in it. We're so far in reality that we don't even always like, maybe we have the thought like this isn't right. It shouldn't be like this, but we don't really do anything to significantly change it. And when we try to, we're crushed by the system. And then like that age of Pisces was just like, it's like the delusional part of Pisces energy. And it's delusional because it's like there's something that it dreams of. There is some end goal that it holds in mind, but it doesn't do anything to get there. Nothing of substance. But it's like when we shift into air, when we shift into Aquarius, the focus is still on the future, like with that future forward sort of element, humanitarian element of Aquarius, but like there are also things that it does to make that future a reality rather than just like dreaming of it. Like someday there will be a great something and we will experience whatever. So the air precedes the earth. So then maybe this, instead of this, it could be dark, but maybe this is just this energy, but grounded. Or this is us grounding the energy. And maybe that's what this is. Because it's interesting that it's an eclipse, but it's like that eclipse, from the darkness in that eclipse, from the void of that eclipse, this plant, I don't know if she's connecting to it, if she's connecting upward, like, I need some strength. Send me some light, please, because it's getting dark down here. But it does feel like an umbilical energy. And then this one, the Knight of Pentacles, the Prince of Pentacles. Honestly, the Prince of Pentacles energy, it feels like someone who's lost their way, or it feels like someone who's lost hope. Because it's like the horse The first way I'm seeing this is that the hooves of the horse has grown, like it's grown roots. It's not even fully balanced. Like there's only three trunks for four hooves. There's the rolled up note, and it's like that's what he was supposed to be doing. Like that was his mission, but he's forgotten. He's just like, there's no saving these people. There's no hope for these people. Or there's no saving me. There's no hope for me. And so this, it's coming through. It's like the air is the idea, the earth is the application. And it's almost like when we get so wrapped up in something that we forget why we started it in the first place. It's like the Prince of Pentacles finds himself this comfortable before he's like, wait, like there was something else that I wanted to do with my life. There was something else that I knew I needed to do. And it's an energy where it's like when we do something to pay the bills, but then we forget to also invest in the thing that we really wanted to do. It's like if you're like, I'm going to go to work and save up money so I can open up my own business. And so you put away the money, but then it's like you're at work for so long that you forget that there was a point where you wanted to open your own business. You forget that, like, the reason why you started working was to put your kid through school, but your kid's out of school now. Your kid is grown and is doing very well. So you no longer have to continue to sacrifice. You can begin living your life now. But it's like it's when we get so stuck in it that we forget. And maybe this is the purpose. That's what we receive. Okay. Hold up. See, y'all know I'm questionable with the chat. I had the opportunity to work through my weirdness with money. So it it I can accept it now. So thank you. Ooh, oh, I think I remember you telling me about that. I think I remember being there. Maybe not. Maybe it was after, but I don't remember if it was on your line. But I feel like you told me about another Aquarius, and I might have been like, "Oof." Bloomer was like, "I'm more Aquarius than he was, so I won." Sun, Moon, Mercury, and North Node with Libra as your midheaven, Sagittarius rising, Aries, Venus. That's a lot of Aquarius with a touch of fire, just to make it extra fire NATO. But it can spread warmth too. Yeah. When you come out of it, though, when you learn from it, when you grow from it, it feels like it makes you someone who's extremely capable and extremely. I feel like capable is just like the best word. Like capable of going after something, capable of starting, capable of finishing, capable of having healthy boundaries, capable of like, being like, you will respect my boundaries, capable in many, 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 many ways. So I think my best friend, she's an Aqua Moon and Rising. I'm a Taurus Moon and Rising. She's a Virgo. I'm a Pisces. This was a lot. I didn't even ask this deck to tell me about itself, but maybe this deck is going to be one of the balance. One of doorways. It's the deck of doorways. Shout out to Bloomin' Rose. Doorways and choices. What lies in the now that carries us beyond. To see from a different vantage point with a different pair of eyes. They put all the core cards together. We'll start with the Princess of Swords. I call on you to live your truth. Ooh. I'm just going to read that. The Princess of Swords is I call on you to live your truth. The Prince of Swords is I live by my ideals. That's weird. It's interesting. Maybe more interesting than weird. Shayna, how you doing? This is like I call on you. See, and this is the light people in the back. They're like, we call on you to live your truth. And this is like, I live by my ideals. And it's like, well, do your ideals match your truth? Hold up. It's almost like if you ain't talking money, we ain't talking energy. The Princess of Pentacles is I value all of life. The Prince of Pentacles is I consistently create my empire. See, it's that energy. It's like if we're not talking money, I don't want to talk. If we ain't talking money, if you ain't talking money, I can't hear you. If it's not adding dollars to my bank account, you're not getting my investment and you're wasting my time. It's like the shadow side of Capricorn. Because it's this energy. It's like, I value all of life. I'm consistently building my empire. I'm calling on you to live in your truth. I follow my ideals. And my ideals are about building my empire. I was like, oof. Man, what's up with the princes? Somebody check on the princes, please. Yeah, it's the Starman Tarot, gifted by the amazing, ever generous Twitty. Yeah, I agree, Bloom and Rose. I think sometimes maybe we hold our ideals as truth when it should be the other way around. It's like your truth should inform your ideals. And so if your ideals don't align to your truth, then you can follow your ideals back to see what truth they speak of. And is the truth that your ideals speak, like, does that align with your soul truth? Maybe a lot of times it's no, because we've adapted to the place that we're in. We've had to adapt. Humans are some of the most adaptable creatures on the planet. So almost like, I feel like bacteria, where it's like bacteria can live in the tundra, bacteria can live in volcanoes. And it's like, well, people live in the desert, people live in the rainforest, people live in the mountains, people live in the valleys, people live in the hot, people live in the cold, people live everywhere. People are trying to go to Mars. What? But anyway, oof. What's up with the princess? I told y'all that's why this Princess of Swords, when the beast came for her, she survived. And that's why this Prince of Swords is as beat up as he is. But he survived. So, he lives to light another day. Yeah. It's like, oh, we're destroying the earth. What planet can we make hospitable? Instead of, oh, we're destroying the earth. How about we stop? People gonna people. But as people, we take the opportunity to become better because people are also ever changing, ever evolving, and extremely creative and innovative. It's just if we used it in a better way, we could find a lot better where we are. So, anyway, the one thing that drives an air sign crazy. My north node or my south node is in Gemini. My Jupiter is in Libra. My Saturn is in Aquarius. I got some air in me. It's like Jupiter, Saturn air. So it's like a little bit out there, but it also informs. And then my South Node is like, yeah. Yeah, she did. She was like, and it's so funny because it's almost like if the water wasn't there, the doorway wouldn't be big enough to go through. But it's because the water, like, I just heard, meow. It's because the water extends the shadow, it becomes big enough to walk through. And it's like, it's the Six of Pentacles on the other side, and not that Six of Wands where it's like, you are the only person that finds this and the rest of the earth perishes. It's like, no, everybody gets it. Everybody wins. No one dies. It's like when the doctor's like, no one dies. No one died. Because, oof. It's like if you see the doctor, you're in for an adventure and it's going to warp your perception of reality and what is possible, but folks are probably going to die. So you have Jupiter and Capricorn. Ooh. Jupiter and Capricorn conjunct Saturn. Oh, wow. Oh, so you were born during that Jupiter Saturn conjunction. You had a dream about what? Doctor Who? Or people going to Mars? Or 1861? Oh, Twitty is like, I've been around for a few hundred years. Twitty's like 1919. I'm not hundreds of years old. What are you talking about? I was like, oh, Twitty, you look good to be 500, girl. What's your secret? If you can tell us. And not, it's like, I could tell you my secret, but then I'd have to kill you. Hey, EP. Twitty's like, remember when Descartes went looking for the fountain of life? We already moved it. Oh my gosh. Look what card just came out again. It's the Six of Pentacles. Okay. This time, death is at the bottom of the deck. Last time it was the moon. So it is a Piscean scorpionic energy. But behind death is the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups with the Four of Wands. And it's almost like even the shadow will be happy. Because shadow it goes back to the energy of the last reading, where we get to choose how we move forward from what happens to us. We assign meaning to what happens. We assign meaning to what happens to us. And then it's like that Princess of Swords energy is like, yeah, but like, what is your truth? Like, I know this happened to you. I know that this is something that you've experienced. I know that, like I said, the shadow can be extremely simple. So it's not difficult to understand. And it's like, I hear what you're saying, but what is your truth? I hear what has happened to you, but who are you? Like, you're more than what happened to you. You're more than the situations and circumstances you find yourself in. So, what is your truth? Okay, well, shoot. Six of Pentacles came out again. Tiger head, man. Oh. I didn't even recognize it. I think Tiger head, man, is a shadow. I don't know if they're both shadows, but Tiger Head Man is definitely a shadow. And you can see in the Four of Wands how they're starting to like become their truth. And it's like Tiger Head Man is a fully decorated shadow. Like this is where it starts. Tiger Head Man has reached some kind of completion, and this shadow over here is still like this shadow over here is going through it still. And it's like the shadow is trying to mimic the pose that these two are doing, but there's no substance here. There's no true transformation. Nothing has really happened here. And so although like this is that Piscean delusion where this shadow would put itself in this space, but all it's doing, it's like it's mimicking the moves. There's no substance, there's no real transformation, nothing has happened. Not even a little bit. And again, it's like the motivations of the shadow are extremely simple. It's not helping you because it cares about you. It's helping you because it makes it look better. It's basically Tahani from The Good Place. Where it's like, I was so charitable. I gave thousands of dollars. I did this, I did that, and it was all for you. Hello? So yes, you did good. Thank you. And I'm sure the people who got whatever from you appreciated. But at the end of the day, it wasn't for those people. It was to feed your ego. It was to make you look better. It was watch The Good Place, girl. But anyway, you always say we do not win by gain but by loss. It's in the shadow we see that the light is constantly present. To gain is to see through it. Ooh. See, Blooming Rose, she's good for those too. I'm like, ooh, girl. Ooh, girl. I wonder if that Six of Pentacles will come out again. Well, Six of Pentacles is give and take, right? So it goes back to that energy, I guess, again. It's like if you take up the sword, you'll have to use it. Otherwise, why are you holding the sword? And it goes back to that energy of like being disarmed. And maybe that's a fear of vulnerability. Because that Prince of Swords has scars. That Prince of Swords is wounded. All that Prince of Swords knows is fighting. And how can you ask someone who has constantly and consistently had to fight just to have what they have to lower their weapon? And how can you expect someone who's had that experience to do it? And how can that person expect anything different than their experience if they're never willing to change? If they're never willing to do anything of substance to put themselves in a different experience? If they're never willing to face the root? Because everything like that shadow had roots, just like the horse of the Prince of Pentacles had roots. That shadow had roots. Bottom of the deck is the Seven of Cups, but I'm going to go back. Oh, look, the Ten of Cups again. And the Empress. See, there's that Empress with the Ten of Cups. Okay. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you Tiger Head Man again. Because Tiger Head Man's feet were also in roots, but, you know, they were light. And it was an energy where it's like, I mean, eventually, will things change? Will things shift? Yeah, they will. And eventually, the world will move forward in a way where it'll be easier for you to be whoever it is. But you have the ability, you have the resources to do it before the world changes, before the world moves. And again, this Tiger Head Man, he did it before, it's almost like before its time, before the energy was so freely available that everything naturally shifted in that direction. And so just like there was an energy of like riding currents and riding waves earlier, the trolley, it's like, well, but in order for the trolley to work, like someone has to like put that wire all over town. And the trolley has to connect to that wire. Someone's got to build the trolley. Someone's got to build the track. Someone has to set the infrastructure for that. But here in that rooted energy, you can see the light. Maybe Tiger Hood Man remembered what the Prince of Pentacles forgot. Oh, look, see, there she is. But she ain't with the prince no more. The prince, oh, Princess of Pentacles said, "You know what? I'm done with these princes. I went and got me a whole emperor, girl. I got me a whole emperor because these princes are playing games." And now the prince is gonna be like, "Oh, where'd my princess go?" Your princess realized that she deserved better, and she wasn't waiting for you, which is fine. Go get yourself an empress, right? Or you can't just go and get an empress. There's stuff you got to do to get an empress because the empress ain't playing with princes either. But become a king or an emperor and get yourself an empress. And then you'll realize that maybe that person was just there to open you. Maybe that experience was just there to show you. Maybe it wasn't to be the forever that you thought it was, but it was just to show you the forever that you want outside of the everyday that you knew. See, because there's the hooves on the stumps. That's what the prince forgot while he's so busy building his empire. This is the reason. This is his why. When Gemini was like, "Why though? But why though? But why though?" So I can build an empire. But why are you building an empire? So I can have an empire. But why do you want to have an empire? So I can be an emperor. But why do you want to be an emperor? So I can build my empire. And it's like, but what is your truth? But why? Tiger Hood man, he remembered why. See, he's still connected to the tree trunks, but he can get some light. He can get himself right. People like, oh, well, you've had it easier in life. You haven't gone through this. You haven't gone through that. It's like, no, I had it rough enough in life that I decided that I don't want to experience that anymore. And I did something instead of having it rough enough in life and being like, oh, well, this is life. And so I just keep living the same life like you. Yeah, no, not me. Not even sorry about it. But anyway, the Empress store. Where do you get an Empress? Yeah. And I feel like for a long time, it's like when things were what they were, change was harder to come by. And so to be in a position of vulnerability, it's like when I was like in the Earth epoch system, it's like even if you wanted to change the Earth, you would be crushed by the system. And so with the age of Pisces put on top of that, it's like projecting and dreaming and imagining and illusioning, but there's no real substance. But in air, it's like everything can change. But since everything can change, we have to hold the substance. We have to be of substance or air in it, like, or we're gonna blow around like leaves in the wind, like a leaf caught in an eddy. And that's what Tiger Hood Man does. Oh, I'll put it back in the deck, darn it. That's what Tiger Hood Man does with his lit up roots, right? But it's like, we can be more vulnerable now because the world is asking, demanding change in so many different ways, in so many different areas and aspects and sectors of life and quality of life. Even some of the ones that are the most fixed are in a state of change. And so it's like it's time now. But also at the same time, there is an understanding Like, even with the Prince of Swords, there is an understanding of what you've gone through. But it's like, what is your truth? Is that your truth? Is that something that you're going to claim as your truth? Is that something that you will continue to live out, at least in this incarnation, as your truth? Is that something that you're going to carry into other incarnations as your truth? Or like Blue Monroe said, it was something about seeing through the shadow or something like that. Are you going to see through the shadow? Are you going to see through the experience? Are you going to keep digging to find what your truth actually is? And then maybe somewhere along the way, you'll find how your truth wasn't in line with the powers that be or with the system at play. But you'll find that as change is being demanded, as change is being asked for, as change is happening, like the King of Swords, the Ten of Cups, the Seven of Wands with that Three of Pentacles underlying energy. It's like, how can you contribute to the change in a way that is unique and special to you? And how can you use what you've gone through in order to in order to give your voice more weight is the easiest thing to say because you've been through it. You can speak to it. And it's a lot of times that's one thing that I don't like about where we are now. It's like for some reason we automatically assume that if someone is angry, upset, or emotional, that they're like incapable of reason or logic. And that's something that I dislike very much. Because in that world, only the unimpacted, only the unaffected win. And it's like, of course, the system doesn't change because the people in power are like, oh, you're not making any sense. You're irrational. You're emotional. And it's like, yeah, I'm emotional. This is my life. Hello? Like, would you not be would you not be subjected to something and not feel some type of way? And then you can sit from that disconnected place and just be a puppet to the system. The system plays out through you. You've become a part of the system. Congratulations. People who hurt cry. People who are stabbed bleed. And the crying and the bloody don't get listened to. Hey, say you say me. But not anymore. Because enough people are hurting now that it's like, okay, yeah, no. And some people who thought they were above hurt or pain, some people who thought they were impervious and protected, when they start to experience, it's like, oh, yeah, no, this isn't great. Something has to change. And it's like, I'm glad that you're on the side of change now. Wish it wouldn't have taken you personally experiencing this or you knowing someone who personally experienced this to care. But as long as we get where we're going. Anyway, that was a not necessarily. The point of that was the system at play. Like that was the thought of the system. And I remember there was a case and somebody was like, I read on the internet that there were people who were like, that person didn't speak proper English, so I don't trust them. I don't trust anything that they say because they don't speak proper English. And I thought, wow, that's a prejudice that exists, but surely it can't be like real life. People really think that your inability to speak proper English and use proper grammatical syntax so like what I speak perfect English when I'm telling the truth and I don't when I'm lying? Is that how it works? Is that my am I Pinocchio? I have a southern accent anytime I'm telling you a lie. But every other time I speak like this, like is that how it works in real life? No. But I had jury duty. I had jury duty and somebody that I literally went to school with said the same thing. I don't trust him because like I don't believe him because he wasn't using like proper grammar. And I never looked at her the same. My mind was beyond blown to have read it, to know that it exists, but then to hear it on a jury was like, so people really in real life think like this. People really in real life operate like this. When like education isn't even something that's available, like a good quality education isn't even something that's available like USA wide. Like there are states that are like known to have an education system that's like not as good. And like me being from the town I'm in, I had a better education than some of the people I went to school with. And I was like, what? Because I thought I would have had no access to a quality education. Like I like valued my education. I didn't think I was being taught anything that was wrong, but the school I went to was one of need and it was ranked like not that great. And to go to school and to realize that like even I had privilege that other people didn't have, even I had it better than some people, and I like the town I came from, I thought was like underprivileged and a little rough. And it's like, wow. I was like, can't believe it. But am I gonna go around saying like, "Oh, well, I've come from this place, so, anyway." It just it wasn't yet the time, I guess, for things to change. So, as we move forward, it'll be safer and safer to be vulnerable. And it is vulnerability that encourages vulnerability. It's your truth that reminds other people of their truth and not the life that they've lived. And it's like seedlings, like saplings planted in the forest, more trees. And then air will return to earth, but like a clean air that's free of like the stagnant pollution of the last I don't know how many years. So anyway, I kind of went off a little bit, but anyway, I tell y'all, Blooming Rose is like I love Blooming Rose. We are a tree of life. Our leaves fall. Higher perception says that those leaves are a cycle of regeneration, not death. See, it's our perception of our experience that devoid our strength. It's exactly that. See, Blooming, I'm telling y'all, Blooming Rose is legit. Blooming Rose. Yeah, Eve, like for real. I was like, are you what? Okay. It blew my mind. I had a dream about there was a tree with silver leaves, and eagles love to nest in that tree, and there were prey animals that would build their homes in and around that tree because they knew that the eagles lived there, and the eagles don't hunt where they live, and so they found protection from their predators because the I guess the eagle would hunt those predators before they even got close to their home, and so they lived in harmony with the eagle at the top of the tree. But anyway, yeah. Blooming Rose is like, I got plenty of Aquarius. If we're talking Age of Aquarius, girl, been there, done that, got it in spades. Let me inform you. Let me teach you. Let me dispense my wisdom and knowledge. And I'm like, oh, Blooming Rose, thank you, girl. Because I got Aquarius in me, but I'm not Aquarius enough to be like, I'm a Pisces. So all I can see is like, how did humanity do what we did in the age of Pisces, where the age of Pisces should have been beautiful? Because all of these systems and beliefs structured around love and treating people with kindness and respect, and humanity turns it into killing people because they don't believe the same thing, even though we're all believing in love and treating people with kindness and respect, supposedly. But anyway. There's some dag here. Well, technically, this is dag, the gear, the guys, but upright. Oh, that's the Time Master. Oh my gosh, is this where the Time Master has been? See, is this not the pose that Tiger Head Man was making? That's the pose, right? Even the shadow has a shadow. Look at that. Maybe this is darkness. Darkness being the void, the space of all creation. Darkness and light are one and the same, but we can't experience it as separate things. We can't see it in darkness. We need the light to see it, but we need the darkness in order to create it. in order for it to be. It's like it's that volley that was pulling the tree out of the void of its mouth. Your words speak power. You speaking bricks? Are you speaking trees? Seven of Cups with the Ten of Cups. See, there is something about it, like creating the framework and the infrastructure, and it's the fractal in the back here. It's like it's building it out. You have to freeze water. No, you don't have to freeze water. Water holds substance as a solid and a liquid. And so there's maybe something, I don't know if it's humidifying or dehumidifying. I don't know if moisture is precipitating from the air or if we're putting moisture in the air. I don't know. And then the last card is the Empress. So anyway, I didn't even get to ask this deck, like, what are you all about? Is this what this deck is all about? The Seven of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Empress. Oh, look. In the Ten of Cups. Oh. I think the tiger head, it's not a mask for tiger head, man. But it's like, here's the cat. Here's the family. And they're like, they're shadows with human heads. They no longer have animal heads. And so maybe the tiger head man is it's going back into the human supremacy. But it's like with the tiger head, it's completed that transformation, but it's still operating off of instinct. Or there's not a lot of knowing. There is a knowing. The knowing is there. It embodies the knowing instinctively, but there isn't that human element of using the knowing with discrepancy. If you get what I'm trying to say. Because it's like if something is second nature to you and someone's like, why are you doing this? You're like, I don't know. It's just in me to do it. Like that's tiger head man. But like people head shadow is like someone's like, why are you doing this? And you're like, oh, you see, well, I'm doing this because of X, Y, and Z. And it's because of X, Y, and Z that well, A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3. And then at the end of the day, with all of these factors, like, and then with this other thing, then we can star asterisk open parentheses close bracket forward slash. And you're like, what? Star open parentheses close slash forward bracket. But like that's what a human understanding allows us to do. And it's not that animals aren't capable of innovation or using tools and stuff like that. A lot of them I think more capable than our pride as humans. Well, some of us, I think more of us are like, you know what? Maybe animals are smarter than we thought they were, like a lot smarter than we thought they were, and maybe smarter than us because they're not destroying the planet. Brushing your dog's teeth, what? You can do that. Brushing dog's teeth, the dog teeth and doggy mouths have been, it's been a real life synchronicity for me. It's like one person talked about, it was Reem. Reem talked about getting Bunny's teeth cleaned. And then I had a dream about Chino's teeth. And then yesterday, when I went with my grandma to take her dog to the groomer, she was like, yeah, they're going to brush his teeth too. And then Twitty's like, I'm brushing my dog's teeth. So I don't know what it means. But brushing dog teeth, It's a thing. And I could like try to look into it, but honestly, I don't wanna. So I'm not gonna. So you've seen that card in a dream of an open door. Wait, what card? My Virgo is sitting back and analyzing all of it. I think Twitty said something about being a Virgo sun, and I didn't read it. I glanced at it, but I was like on a whole tangent. So let me see if I can find it. It's way up, way up, way up somewhere. Maybe it wasn't said. Maybe I imagined it. Yeah, my Virgo sun helps ground me, but it's 12th house. My Taurus moon helps ground my Pisces sun, but sometimes it's a little too much. I'm like, okay. And then I have to be more fluid. It's like, okay. There's a balance that they play out. My moon and my sun, no, I would say they sextile, but they're pretty far apart. My sun and my rising sextile though. So what? Shayna was doing her hair, Twitty's brushing her dog's teeth, getting ourselves right and our pets right. Until the fire pushes me. Yeah. As a Taurus, moon and rising, Pisces sun, like I'm perfectly comfortable just like not doing anything until I have to do something. But then my lesson was to not be forced to do something or not have to rely on things to get so bad that I do what I know I need to do. So I was like, okay, I had to learn that. But now I also have to learn to just like let things play out because it's a balance. And that's the annoying thing to me sometimes about learning something. It's like, do this, but not too much. Like, don't go to the extreme. Like, go back to how you used to be a little bit. Like, integrate that. And it's like, but you told me not to do this. You told me to do this. Like, what do you mean? It's like, girl, we said do it, but like, we ain't say take it to 1,000 when all we need is two. Anyway, three pugs, Riffy, then Rocco and Rolo. Riffy, Rocco, and Rolo. I have a friend who had a bunch of pugs. Well, a bunch of pugs, like two. But I think one of the pugs passed and then another one passed within the same year, maybe within the span of the same few months. So it was a rough time for him. That was 2 years ago, maybe. Oof. See, that's why dogs have too much energy for me. Oh, this card, the Seven of Cups. Maybe this is the ideal and this is the truth. I don't know. Things are so complex in this deck, even shadows have shadows. And that's why the Princess of Swords was like, what is your truth? And then the Prince of Swords was like, I live by my ideals. And it's like, okay, well, maybe it's your truth to live by your ideals, but what is your like truth outside of that? How are your like what is the basis of your ideals? What truths are your ideals like founded upon? Oh, they're white bugs. I think his were um it's like standard pug color. I don't know, like that tannish with like the I'm so bad with everything, honestly. You're Virgo all over what? I have no Virgo. Excuse me. I have no Virgo in my chart. Even on my new birthday, like November 4th, 2018, still no Virgo. I was talking to Russ. I was like, I still don't have any Virgo. I gotta like the next Virgo stellium. I have to go through a significant enough change to be like, this is new Patrick, and he finally has Virgo in his chart. But being a Virgo sounds exhausting. I feel like being a Virgo would exhaust the Pisces in me and the Taurus in me and the everything else in me. Maybe that's why I was just like, you know what? I can have everything. Give me Scorpio, give me Capricorn, give me Aries, but please no Virgo. No Virgo. And it's not because I'm lazy, but it's because I'm lazy. Sag, Moon, and Mars pushes Virgo, Sun, and Taurus rising out of boredom. Out of like a, yeah, I see that. Eve is like, I'm comfortable in my Virgo, but struggle with the fire because I'm comfortable in my Virgo. So, what's that song? Come on, baby, light my fire. I don't know that song, but I know it's a song. Ooh, Blooming Rose. Girl, I would love to hear it. They can't show. What? Are you serious? Are you serious? That's crazy. Do you show dogs? Say you say me, it's like it's extremely exhausting but very magical. There's some kind of power that Virgo is holding. I've seen flashes of it every now and then, but I think it came out in the rune reading. And Virgo was Virgo energy was like, it's not the thread that's magic, it's not the needle that's magic. It's the hand that holds it all. And I was like, Virgo, what you over there doing? Like Virgo is this secret powerhouse of the zodiac that's so Virgo that it just doesn't even show it. Virgo's like, y'all ain't even ready for all this. Like, if I were to show you everything, like, if we were to implement some of my plans, thoughts, and ideas, like, that would truly be paradise on earth. And y'all little heathens ain't ready. Y'all, like, you're not ready for it yet. Get yourself together, and then I'll show you what I've been working on. And it's like, oof. Virgo is that real mutable earth. Like, you want to have a different experience? I can tell you how. But it's going to require you to do stuff. And I'm like, oof, no, no, thank you. Not trying to do stuff. Wait, really? The song is by the Doors? I told you I don't know the song. Wow, that's crazy. Ugh. Ugh. Well, that song is by the Doors. Everything's about doors. No water, no door, no mud, no lotus, and the jewels in the lotus. So if you want the jewel, you got to get the mud. And to get mud, you need water for earth. So, and to get earth, girl, you got to be given earth. I don't know how you create earth. The earth is it. The earth is. Let's see what you say. I think I'm used to the Virgo Taurus allows me to be lazy because Virgo knows Taurus likes stuff. So I'll work. So you get like earth encouragement. I didn't even know that was the band of the. And it's funny, like y'all told me, it's like, oh, the Doors. It's Doors. And I'm like, what? Your son is a Taurus? It's so funny. So my mom's Mars, her Mars is at 8 degrees Taurus. I'm at 8 degrees Taurus rising. My youngest brother, her youngest child, is an 8 degrees Taurus sun. And I wonder if her middle child has 8 degrees Taurus in his chart somewhere. Like my rising and my youngest brother's sun fall on top of her Mars, all 8 degrees Taurus. Best in show. Well, let's see. Would you like door number one, door number two, door number three, door number four, door number five, door number six, door number seven, door number eight, door number eight, door number nine, door number 10, door number 11, door number 12, door number 13, door number 14, door number 15, door number 16, door number 17, door number 18, door number 18, door number 18, door number 18. Door number 18, door number 18, door able numbers. My mouth and brain were disconnected on door number 18. Ooh. You're an Aquarius with a Taurus daughter and Libra sun. It can be challenging. Woo. My cousin is a Taurus, married to a Gemini, and they have an Aquarius son and a Libra daughter. So you got one Taurus in the house with an Aquarius, Gemini, and a Libra. And I don't even know if he has air in his chart. But air and earth, I think they could probably clash sometimes, but they could probably also work really well together. Because it feels like earth can substantiate air. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put these cards back in the deck. And then I'm going to roll a d20. And I'm going to look at before and after the major. Let's see like what door. So this is the deck of doors. The deck of doorways and portals. Your best friend is a Virgo. I have so many Virgo best friends. Like growing up in kindergarten, I met someone who's an Aquarius. In third grade, I had class with his brother, and I became best friends with his brother. He's a Virgo. In middle school, like the one I do the podcast with, Ericksonia, she's a Virgo. Someone else, like at first we didn't get along, like freshman year of high school, but by senior year, like we were basically pretty close friends. Not necessarily close, but like good friends. She's a Virgo. It's like there were so many Virgos at one point in my life. I was like, are all my best friends Virgos? And now I got Aries best friends. I got Libra best friends. Taurus best friends. Gemini. A lot of Gemini crushes that turned into good friends. Cancer? I don't know. Leo? I have a lot of like Leos that I love and like good Leo friends. I have friends all over the zodiac, but I don't know about Cancer. You actually balance each other. Oh, I love that. Come on, baby, light my fire. No problem, say you, say me. We all have something to contribute and share in our own ways. And there are a lot of things that I don't know. And honestly, some things I don't even necessarily care to know. I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's cool. I don't really like, I'm not interested in applying it in my personal life in any way. But I love that you love it because someone's going to have a question about it and I'm not going to have an answer. It's what we do for each other. Okay, where are my dice? I gotta find them. 1 second. Why don't you talk to each other? Just give it a try. Why don't you talk about what happened? I know you're trying to forget it, but I don't know why. You might not believe it. You might not believe it, but you've got a lot in common. You really do. Okay. Where's my D20? Here it is. Ooh, the D20 is on number 16 as I'm picking it out of the bag. Oh, I'm like trying to find the hole in the bag and it's a Ziploc. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn. I'm just like. Mm-hmm. 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 If it's 18, that'll be hilarious. Or 8 because I accidentally said 8 twice. Is this a 9 or a 6? I don't know any cancers. Actually, I have a cancer buddy who went live on Twitch last night for the first time in over a year. I was like, "What?" So the 9 came out, but it came out looking like a 6-6, if you can see that. There you go. I'm trying to hold it in the light. There you go. I was like, "Is that a 6 or a 9?" And then I looked right next to it and it's the same thing. So the 9 is the one that came out. Speaking of Virgo, let's go look at the Hermit. Let's see what the Hermit is up to. And the Hierophant was at the bottom of the deck when the Prince and Princess of Swords and Pentacles came out. So it's like it's the way the world was. And what a lovely way with words. Is that the way I see the world? Is just the way I see the world. You got to know. See, this is the card. If you missed it earlier, this is the card where she was like, "Oh, like you thought that because I was naked and beautiful, that you could attack me, girl. Let me show you. Let me show you how little power you actually have over me right now. I've conquered worse within myself. Think I can't handle a bear or a whatever kind of beast this is." That girl, look, and she's like laughing. She's like, "Oh, you're so cute. You're adorable." Anyway, that's when I was like, these princesses got it, but this prince, that Prince of Swords, he was beat up. The Prince of Swords did not have the same experience. So, oh, oh my gosh. Oh. Remember when I was like, Virgo is like low key, some secret powerhouse of the zodiac. Oh my gosh. Well, aw. This card is important, so I'm going to show it, and then I'm going to look at the cards that came out around the Hermit. The Hermit in this deck is actually the alien, so shout out to Aquarius. Wait, I'm missing it. I'm missing it. Your sun is Aquarius, and your daughter is a Sagittarius. Ooh. How does that work? Do they get along? I feel like it could be an explosive combination, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. I feel like like what instantly plays in my head is like your daughter being like, "Oh, let's do this, let's do that," and your son is like, "I don't want to do it." It's like, "Leave me alone." No, I know what I like, and what I don't like is like I don't like that. But I could also see it being like, just like in general, more like Sagittarius would be the thing that like broadens Aquarius's horizons, where it's like it incorporates more into their worldview. It expands it. Where Aquarius can sometimes maybe be a little fixed in their vision. Because I feel like Aquarius has a point, and Sagittarius is like, yeah, but like, let's have a little bit of fun too. Because if you're not having fun, then what's the point? 8 is your life path? What? My life path is 7. Okay. Oh, Shayna already knew. It's the alien. Shayna's like, oh yeah, the David Bowie deck. It's the alien, girl. I got you. Aries Leo daughter brought the house down yesterday in a good way or in a fiery way. Your twins are cancers. Oh, I think you said that. Plenty of emotion in the house. It was like, this is a lot of water for my Virgo fire. And I'm going to need you. Like, I'm not trying to get you to suppress your emotions at all. I am listening to you. I love you. But this is a lot of emotion right now. And You wouldn't have to feel this if you did that thing that I said. Because I saw this happening. I saw it coming. And I know that, like, you're meant to live life and you don't listen to me anyway. But you could have saved yourself this pain. I'm just playing. I don't know y'all lives. I don't know your kids. You know your kids. All your best friends were cancer during high school. Actually, I do know a cancer. It's the older sister of one of my really good friends. He's a Leo. She's a cancer, and they were born, I think, a year and a few days apart. So she's like a late cancer, and he's an early Leo. I forgot about her. Shout out to her. Her son is like turning 10 years old. I was like, what? Is that right? But it would have been 10 years ago. Yeah. Time's just like, what? My Mars is in Cancer. So, oof. Shayna's like, not one of those cancers could get me to care. And I'm like, oof. You got to know. I have no clue, Twitty. They may be different. Oh, wait, Soul Urge. That's the one that Eve did. Yeah, no, not necessarily. Not always. Okay, Twitty. Yeah, like I feel like they would. Sagittarius feels misunderstood by Aquarius. Yes, okay. They're 2 years apart and both lived in LA together as young adults. He came to her rescue too many times. Aww. See, Aquariuses have it together. Sagittarius is they're Jupiter ruled. So as a Pisces Sagittarius, I get you. Oh, my North Node is in Sagittarius. I was like, I feel like being a little more Sagittarian in my own life personally, but that's where my North Node is. So. Anyway, has Heart's Desire might be the same as Soul Urge. I'm just like, what? A Life Path 33? What? Her Sagittarius exhaust is Aquarius. Yeah, I can see that. But they're good for each other in that way. I mean, Aquarius and Sagittarius do sextile. You've got a Libra, Leo, and Scorpio. Weirdly, the Libra and Scorpio frequently gang up on the Leo. Leo's like, it takes two of you. Okay. Does the Leo still win in the end, though? Because if the Leo still wins, then oof. I understand why the Libra and the Scorpio have set aside their differences. I know also very little about numerology, say you, say me. They were very dramatic cancers. Shane doesn't. They're cancers. Oh, it's the same. Okay. Your progressed rising is Sagittarius. That's interesting. Inner dream numbers? What? Yeah, the Leo has way more charisma and is not easily bruised. Okay. Leo's good for that, though. My Chiron's in Leo. Okay. So, what's interesting on the outside of this? Well, first of all, what's interesting? I mean, there's all majors. So, door number 9 is holding major arcana energy. Oh my gosh, this is So first, outside of this, we have the King of Wands and Judgment. Oh my gosh, Aries. So the King of Wands and Judgment is sitting outside of this. I don't know if those are focusing. I don't think they are. Do I gotta put them closer? Focus, please. I don't know if it's gonna focus. But what's interesting is that behind Judgment is the Two of Cups. And this feels like that Ace of Pentacles Bread of Life energy, where like there's a crack in the wall. It's like this is the world that exists beyond the boundaries and borders of our collective perception of reality, beyond what was established by the systems and the powers that be at the time. And again, I was like, Virgo being that mutable earth, it can shift the earth in a very real way, but it requires something. Like these are the things we have to do to get there. And it's like it's cute that you dream, Pisces. I love your brain. I love your imagination. Here's the plan. And Pisces is like, oh my gosh, Virgo, you complete me. Thank you, because girl, it was just a dream. But wow, Virgo, you've made it like this might actually be reality. And like Virgo's like, yeah, they don't call me mutable earth for nothing. But sometimes it is a burden. I'm like, okay, Virgo. You be Virgo, I be Pisces. We can do that. Soul urge is innermost desire. Oh, okay. Oops. Your Chiron's in Pisces. Oh my gosh. My sun is in Pisces. And my Mercury's in Pisces. Retrograde. Oof. It's because of fundamentally are two signs that connect through thought and loyalty, Aquarius and Sagittarius. Oh. Oh, it's probably too early for me to be this loud. Blue Nose is like, I have an Aries man who is currently testing my Aquarian patience. Your Mercury's in Leo. A crack, yeah. Who going somewhere? I'm hungry. I want to go to Riches. I got to do homework today. I wasn't able to do anything really yesterday because I was like, oh, I'm going to enjoy the first part of my day and then I'll do homework. But then my hair was taken down like all day and then I had to go get it done. And then, girl. Anyway, back to this. So, around and it's funny because door number 18 or 18, door number 9 is actually like the alien is stepping out of the door, right? I don't even know if this is focusing anymore. I'm doing me today, like the Aquarius I am. I love that. The Taurus in me appreciates the Aquarius in you, girl. Keep doing you. See, there's something DNA about this. This actually reminds me of that Princess of Swords card. And it's because of the blue here. Like that rift that was at the top of the card, not like the very top, but towards the top of the card. Like the alien is at that rift between worlds. And it came out in between the tower and the wheel. So it's the King of Wands, the tower, the alien, the wheel, judgment, the Two of Cups. It's that scarab energy again. It's the knight that holds the sword of dragon flame. Because it feels like the alien has come from a different space, maybe even from a different time, with that little time master energy. It's like Aquarius is the embodiment. Why am I talking about Aquarius? This is Virgo. Well, it's the alien. That's why it's Aquarius. It's like it's the embodiment of a future energy. And then Pisces is like the land that they come from. But it's like it's coming back to the zodiac all the way to Aries to begin us moving forward into that energy. It's like it comes back to move us forward. And that's why that Prince of Swords is like as beat up as he was, because it's like, girl, it's rough down there. You don't realize how good you got it until you go back a few 100,000 million years. And it's like, ooh, humanity has had its journey, girl. Humanity has had several journeys. Um, let's start with this card, the Tower. It's giving you Watcher vibes. Will you focus, Mr. Camera? Will you focus, please? Will you? Where are you focused? I don't know. Like, can you? There we go. I don't know. Maybe not. It's fine. Are they really, Shayna? I love that Twitty put the H in there. In my humble opinion. Be bold in your opinion, Twitty. There is no room for humility here. Just say, there's always room for humility. There's no room for diminishing here. I like that. We can be humble and not diminish. I did read that as I'm doing me today, but I like I'm doing Mr. today. One must evolve the closer you are allowed to the veil. Yeah. And that's the energy that like um my fire is still working. You know what, Twitty? I see you. Cause girl, if you go back to like June, July of last year, I'm like, oh, when am I gonna be water again? When is this fire gonna go away? I don't like it. I don't like it. Shayna. Oh my gosh. This actually reminds me of the desert temple because the doorway. Okay, well, this is why perspective is important. And I don't even know if it's going to focus so you can see. But there's this little, yeah, it is. There's this little crack right here. Girl, where's my pointing pen? My pointing pen is losing some of its glitter. There's this crack right here. This is the fault line in the desert. But with the whole like this, what did I title it? The scorpion, the sword in the sands, or something like that. With this perspective, look how small the fault line is. Oh, thank you for focusing. Hello. And it's like, it was this energy. It was like, well, maybe we build the temple in the desert. And it's like the temple in the desert doesn't even exist on this dimension, like in this dimension. The temple in the desert is a doorway to some other place. Maybe it's a doorway to this. It's like, wait, what is your truth? And you're like, oh my gosh. But let's start with the tower because the tower is easier. I'm on a fault line waiting for you all night, thinking it's the right time to let you know. Oh, that's what it is. I was like, there's fire in that song somewhere. I think it's like fire breathing, higher dreaming. Yeah. It's just that it's that it. Fire breathing, higher dreaming. You got me so tired of feeling like I'm the. Why can I not remember the song? Like all the love I've given you ain't got any meaning. I can't believe it. Give me a reason. Tell me it's not true or I'm leaving you. But then it's like, tell me it's not true or I'm leaving, but I don't want to know. Girl, it's a truth that we can't handle that we need in that song. Not necessarily this in particular, but maybe it is. Maybe we can't handle the magnitude of our truth. And so it necessitates us playing small and dimming and diminishing. And it is a thing that maybe the greatest things that we fear in the world is truly our own selves and the depth of ourselves and the power that we hold within, right? Lawrence Fishburne, Aquila and the Bee. What was the quote? Maybe our fear isn't that we're like dumb or ugly or weak or stupid or whatever. Maybe our fear is that we're greater than we can even imagine. And then the wheel is like, yeah, you're greater than you can even imagine. Far greater, infinitely greater. You don't even know how much greater. And it's like, ooh, girl. Anyway, I mean, that's the energy. Um, ooh, this tower is intense, girl. They got the asteroid. They got meteors. Looks like this giant interdimensional salamander thing. And you know what the wildest part is to me, and it may be different to you. If it's different to you, take it, girl. But to me, it looks like this shadow is looking at everything happening to this tower and it's walking in that golden door. And this shadow's like, you're asking me to walk into what? Excuse me? And the divine eye is like, yeah, girl, come on in. We're ready. The fun is about to begin. And you're like, if this is your idea of fun, girl, I think I'm gonna stay in tonight. Like even the top of the door is on fire. You see that? What I do love though, or what I notice, the top of the door has an eye. Here's another eye. Here's another eye. And it does carry the energy of this face and this face and this face and that face. And some kind of double sacral magic, girl. They're shooting light beams out of their pelvises. It's like you got a light beam pelvis here, a light beam pelvis there, meeting at the third eye of this one. So maybe this speaks of a trichromatic alignment. But another thing is there's this chasm here. And I was talking about that. The portal in the throat that Volley pulls the tree of life out of. It was that energy of like, because like this looks like a mouth that's parted, right? Like those are lips. This is a mouth. And then this void up here is something different. When you step into the tower, though, because the shadow is being asked to walk into this tower that got thunder and lightning and fire and meteors and asteroids. But when you get inside of the tower, it's actually calm because it's a doorway in dimensions. It's like that's what it looks like from this side, but on the other side of it, it's something completely different. And it's like it's the very first door we saw in the Five of Pentacles that led to the Six of Pentacles. Where it's like, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous in here. Tiger Head Man, like, am I tripping right now? Whoa. And Tiger Head Man's like, no, this is real. And you're like, okay, I gotta be tripping right now because Tiger Head Man, really? Your legs are stumps. Hello? Your body is shadow, but it's colorful. And your head is a tiger, and you have wings. And Tiger Head Man is like, well, I thought if I asked you for your truth, that you may like to see mine. And it's like, girl, but like, I don't even know how to comprehend whatever your truth is. But then Tiger Hood Man is like, well, if this is my truth, then imagine what yours is. And you're like, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. I went on a trip. The mushrooms got me. You heard antibiotics are good for fighting the pelvis. I love you, Eve. Matthew, where? Oh, there you are. Hey, Matthew. Oh, no problem, Blooming Rose. Oh, wait. It was Budding Rose, right? Blooming Rose, Blooming Peony. You said your daughter's a Sagittarius. So, yeah, I guess it was about. She's a December Sagittarius? Is she a December Sagittarius? Because I remember that one day you said it was her birthday, but was that in December? Was that a year ago? Yeah, I guess it was. I think it was. I just remembered that. Oh, this fire is making me nervous. The Eye of Sauron. It's like looking all over. Oh, girl. I wish you would have told me that before. Oh, I like that. Hell with one L, Twitty. I like that. I feel like Russell would appreciate that too. Okay, let me scroll back up a little bit. And, oh, wait. I think I saw some of this. SoCal. I was actually in California for the first time in 2018. Not for the first time because I've been to San Francisco when I was a child and I don't even remember it. I remember the place that we stayed at more than I remember actual San Francisco. And we were at that place for like a night so that so we were closer to the airport because it was an early flight. Um, I was just thinking of my godmother recently too. I should reach out to her because we went to San Francisco to see her or with her. Um, but anyway, we were in. Is it Corona? I think we were in Corona in the middle of the desert. Yeah. There was a facility in the middle of the desert that someone was released from. And so we all went to California because it had been that whole process was a tragedy in and of itself. Speaking of Libras, um, I think it was Corona. And I missed LA. They went to LA twice and I missed it because I ate an edible brownie and I was on the futon for legit 2.5 days. I had to crawl to the bathroom at 3 o'clock in the morning. It was tragic. But I think we were in Corona. Is Corona, California a place? Question mark. I'm pretty sure it is, and that's where we were. But now I don't know. Oof. Yeah, yeah, that was 2018. Because later that year, my life fell apart. And then I decided to put myself back together. So, speaking of birthdays, it'll be your first time visiting. Oh, well, enjoy LA. Going on your own to visit friends. Oh, that's fun. Okay. Like, I'm way behind if you can't tell. Corona, California. Yeah, it is a place. Okay. Thank you, Twitty. I was like way behind. Cosmic Owl. Hello. Your daughter is a December Sagittarius. What? Blooming Rose is like, Tiger Head man is just eccentric. Like, you're not tripping. He's just weird that way, but we love it. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we didn't do much besides like enjoy being around family. But the Airbnb we were in was really nice. And there was a lizard, a little lizard by the pool that was catching some sun. Snoop Dogg question mark released a gospel song or something like that. Did I enjoy the edible? No. I was like literally every single joint in my body was like tingly. I lost feeling in my entire body. I didn't even know you could like hallucinate or trip on marijuana or THC or whatever cannabinoids. I know nothing of it. I was like, my cousin is gonna offer me something. I'm in California. It's legal. If he offers it, I'll take it. And he gave way too much. And I was seeing timelines, like it was this explanation of timelines and choice points and fate. And it's like there are these points that we meet, and depending on what we decide at those points, it opens up new windows that also are connected to points that open up new things. Speaking of doors and interdimensional doors or whatever. And then I had this whole life review because it was like it was months before my life fell apart. And I was like, the one person in my life who's consistently been there every single time, I was like incapable of dealing with life. It was my mom. And I was like, oh my gosh, my mom's been there for my entire life. And I'm like, just I can't even move my body, just like crying. And then I had, like I said, I had to crawl to the bathroom at 3 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't even stand to walk. Girl, it was terrible. And I was like, people do this for fun. People do this intentionally. What? I could never. I can't even move my body. This is terrible. But I had a good time. And it wasn't meant for me to go to LA then. So I'll go to LA at some other point, I'm sure. Eventually, maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? Canada there. I would love to go to Canada. I want to try poutine. I've heard a lot about it. So what? Oof. I remember Bloomin' Rose. It's the birds for Bloomin' Rose. And now the doorways. Did I know about that? Did I know about birds indoors before? Because I remember birds. The foodie in you wants to see San Francisco. I didn't even know that there was food in San Francisco. Hey Malika. But there's this is oh, is it? Okay. So if you gotta go, that's fine, Shayna. I need to end this anyway. I gotta get started on my homework. But thank you for stopping in. Yeah, I remember. They let you know when something is bound to happen soon. Oh goodness. Ooh. Talking about these doors and towers and Tiger Head, man. What's happening in the and in the what's happening in the shadow right now? I don't know. Shadows are playing with colors now. But for a shadow to hold color, it has to have light. It has to. Because, colors are just different frequencies of light. Lower frequencies are more red, higher frequencies are more blue, violet. Um, so, anyway, oof. That's all I got to say. All I got to say is oof. 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 Poutine is so good. Oh my gosh. So say you say me, he's like, I never liked poutine. When I was in Michigan, I was like, can we like cross the border and get to Canada so I can try some poutine? But not my friend didn't have her passport yet. I think it's like French fries with cheese, curds, and gravy on top. At first I was like, ew, that sounds disgusting. And then I was like, but does it really? I was like, what is your truth, Patrick? That was me with bubble tea too. Because at first I was like, oh, the tapioca pearls and bubble tea, it scares me that there's like something just black at the bottom of the tea, like ew, like I can't even. And then it was like, what is your truth, Patrick? And I had the opportunity to try it. I had one. I was like, but by the end of it, I was like, oh my gosh, I got another one. And I didn't get any bubble tea yesterday. That's sad. Oh well. Oh, I love boba. I love the boba. I didn't get any yesterday, but mm. Wait, really? McDonald's in Japan. Say you say me is like, I don't like it, and I thought I'd try anything. So I'm not. I'm a lot more gravy and ketchup. You put ketchup on top of it? I didn't know they put ketchup on it too. Ketchup might be where I draw the line. I'm like, can I get this without ketchup, please? Because I don't know about that. Poutine. Okay. It's pronounced poutine, actually. I don't. I'm uncultured, Shayna. I don't know. I've never had it. Poutine. You were addicted to bubble tea for a month back in the summer. You had to quit. There isn't there isn't a place to get boba in town, so I can't even be addicted to it. I did order a taro milk tea powder though. It is so good. I made one thing, maybe two in the same day. Haven't touched it. The taro's been up in the cupboard for over a year now. Um, your kids love it though. Yeah, bubble tea or like boba. It's so good. It may be an acquired taste though. And you can get like I didn't even know they had I went to La Tea recently, like a month or 2 months ago. It was on my first check, so like like a month and a half ago. And I was like, can I get like what did I get? I don't think I got the taro milk tea. I think I got the house. It was either the house or a jasmine. It might have been jasmine. I don't remember. And she's like, "Oh, what flavor boba do you want?" I said, "Flavors? Y'all have flavors? How long have y'all had flavors?" And she was like, we've always had flavors. And I was like, girl, I ain't always been here, but I don't think y'all always had flavors. Lychee, yeah. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Is it lychee? 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 I had lychee. You would just get unsweetened oolong. See, one of my friends told me they were like, you should get like an oolong tea with boba. And they're like, lychee. Okay. Or lychee, yeah. She's like, you should get an oolong tea with boba. It's so good. But then somebody else was like, oolong with boba? Like, ew, that's disgusting. You should go up there and tell them to change it. So I told them to change it. So I need to try an oolong. You would say lychee? So it's lychee? Got you. Lychee. But that's wrong. I'm gonna say lychee now, though. I'm gonna do it. I'll do it the Shayna way. I'm like, well, Shayna said that it's pronounced lychee, so I trust Shayna. And they're like, who is this Shayna girl? Who is Shayna got you out here saying lychee instead of lychee or lychee? Lychee? Is it lychee? And when I ask Siri to like define a word, Siri will like not even. Let's see. Hey Siri, define lychee.
Laity means
Not laity.
lay people, as distinct from the clergy.
Girl, ew. Hey Siri, define lychee.
The definition of the word lychee is Chinese tree cultivated especially in Philippines and India for its edible fruit, sometimes placed in genus Nephilium. The word lychee has one other definition.
In Hawaii, that's how it's spoken? Lychee? I think that's what Siri just said. I already forgot how Siri pronounced it. But anyway, that's the energy. The tower and the wheel is the energy through door number 9. Door number 9 is like, I will show you, but it's the hermit card, right? But it's hermited so far, it's gone back to source. But that's the thing about the hermit, because at a certain point in the hermit's journey, it has to trade the light of the Hierophant for its own light. And I used to see it as like the hermit would go from crown chakra to root chakra and would clear the chakras along the way. And at the root, it would find a little silted up path. Where did my pointing pin just go? At the root, it would find a little silted up path and it would follow it to a well that connects to source or that connects to everything. And that's the door that the alien is stepping out of. So then I guess in that sense, it would make sense that it takes us back to this like your truth is deeper and richer than you may know. So happy hermiting, everybody. I don't know. Lychee. Oh, girl, it's starting to make my brain hurt. I can't. And that's what I got. It was a lychee milk tea. Was it? No. I got lychee. I got a lychee sake when I went to a hibachi. I went to a hibachi. I got a lychee sake. And I think I said I said lychee. And he was like, lychee? I was like, yes. I got a lychee sake and then I got a peach sake. And they were so good. I have a little picture. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like the high priestess. What? Well, that's not it. Here it is. Yeah, the white one was the lychee, and the black one was the peach. They were so good. Anyway, thank you again, Twitty, for that alien is looking at all my unused fire. That alien is like, so you got all this, and you really aren't going to do anything with it. Okay. And you're like, so light it up, up, up. I'm on fire. I'm glad my fire is Sag and not Aries. That's funny. Did I say hi, Cosmic Out? I think I did. The bloody lychee. Oh, see, there you go. Lychee. That's oh, that's a rune. Oh my gosh, lychee is a rune. The emotional bleed. Oh, oh, that's so sweet, Tweety. Twitty. I don't know why I want to say Tweety. Sing your song, little bird. Nightingale. You're Nightingale now, Twitty. I don't know what a nightingale is, but it reminded me of the Nightingale card in the Wild Unknown Animal Spirits, where it's sitting on top of the earth, ? And it's like, and light's like coming out of its mouth, cutting through the darkness, calling in the alien. Y'all remember when those obelisks, was it earlier this year, where those obelisks were popping up? Like they would pop up and then they would disappear. And it's like one popped up in Arizona, ? And then one was in like Europe somewhere or whatever. And they were like, is it an art installation? Like, this is protected land. How did they even? And like, it was in the middle of the desert where the obelisk popped up. Yeah, Alien Banksy. I love that Alien Banksy. Did they ever have like an official cause or whatever for that? Where did that go? Let's bring that back. All right, I'll let y'all go. I don't know if Chino's been out. He's shaking out there. I could take Chino on a walk. I think I will walk Chino. And then I'll come back and I'll do my homework so I can enjoy tomorrow and have at least one day of my weekend. But anyway, I hope you have a good whatever. I hope you all have a good whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make that which you wish to experience your reality and whatever this is. I don't even have any words. So, no problem. This was very fun, very enjoyable. I will catch you all when I catch you all. Bye.